Okay, I'm Kat with Scorpion Forge, and I'm back with you in the Scorpion Forge shop, and we're making brass rings. This is part 5, is this part 5? I think this is part 5, because that was part 4 a minute ago we were measuring. Now we're going to cut everybody, and I'm going to cut this length in half, because this is really long. It's 43 inches long, so I'm going to cut it on one of these gaps that I measured in. To make it shorter, so it's easier to deal with. Cut it right there at that 8-ring mark, and then I'm going to come down here and just continue cutting all our different little marks, and I've included about a 2mm gap, so there's room for the cutter. Because we're going to grind these off on the grinder. I have a belt grinder over here that we're going to use. That one didn't want to go. Being a little stubborn. There it goes. And they will pop off with a little bit of velocity to them. Like that, and then we're just going to stick them there. Stick that out of the way. Yeah, this is another trick of the trade that I use. Is I use this. This is a 2x6 board that I've used that for my work surface so that I don't mess up my workbench, because my workbench is made out of wood, and my dad built this like 40 years ago. So I don't want to tear that up, so I just use a piece of wood. So if I need to drill into it, and I also carved out some little grooves in it here for kind of like low rent swage blocks for when I'm bending metal. Yeah, that works for that. And or if I'm gonna like do a punch, like if I punch through something, I need something soft to land in. So this piece of pine board underneath my work surface is perfect for that. And it's pretty beat up, but you know, it's like when it gets too beat up to be useful, then I just replace it with another piece of board, which is, you know, costs a whole lot, 15 cents. And that flipped over, so I need to be able to see what I'm doing. These bolt cutters are amazing for this. They get the job done. I think I need to sharpen them because they're not. But sometimes you got to give it a little help, and it can be a little tricky. Because they don't close 100% all the way, but they don't need to. They just need to do enough to make it snap off. And as you see, when you use the bolt cutters, it has this rough end. But we're going to grind that off on the grinder to make these so that they can be flush butted. Yeah, because what I do is I bend them over and then I hammer them around a socket that I use as a mandrel to make them perfectly round, and then I squeeze them together with the vise and then with vice grips, and then I solder them up with the it like butt soldering the pieces, and then I just grind it down, and it makes nice rings. And we'll do that in some more parts, coming bits. So this is being a little recalcitrant, but trust me, it works, and you see the procedure. So I'll come back with part 6 and show you the grinding aspect.